Oh my God! Oh my God!
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the most insane scenes and moments in South Park's history. Some of these contain major plot points, so a spoiler warning is in effect.
Okay, well, looks like you're gonna get a lot of help here. Category is people who annoy you.
Number 10, Cartmans Fate.
You know, in the Torah, when Abraham first heard the word of God...
Just knock it off! You don't believe a word of that shit. You're just doing all this to get a rise out of me.
Kyle, you really think I would spend 40 years of my life just to get a rise out of you?
Yes, I do!
With the exception of Cartman in the My Future Self and Me episode, we had never seen what the future might hold for our favorite gang of fourth graders.
Whatever, I do what I want.
No, wait! Oh, God damn it!
That is until we got 2 one-hour-long specials featuring the after effects of COVID-19 on the town. Although there were a few surprises, Cartman's future as a Jewish dad was something no one ever saw coming.
I'm actually the head of Gespetza Synagogue down in Colorado Springs. Can you believe it? I'm a rabbi.
But even more than that, after the boys change events in our present time, we see how Cartman really turned out. He becomes an angry, unhoused man, shouting obscenities at anyone who passes by. While surprising nonetheless, it is somewhat sad seeing his deeds catch up to him considering he's a fan favorite.
Hey, come on, fellas. We can't spend another holiday feeling bad for Eric. There's nothing that could have changed the path he was on.
Number 9, the South Park flag. South Park has never been afraid of controversy, and Season 4's Chef Goes Nanners is evidence of that. The episode centered the show's own take on the uproar around the Confederate flag.
Mayor, as I've said before, I find that flag to be racist and insensitive.
The town's own flag is clearly a racist depiction of people of color, which Chef adamantly insists be changed. That alone is bad enough, but hearing Jimbo and others defend the flag in the name of history is even more shocking.
This has been the South Park flag since some of our ancestors, like my great-grandfather, founded this land.
There's never a good time to defend racism, so it's pretty unsettling to see it here. What's perhaps just as outrageous is the final solution to the issue.
I have to admit it, that is a lot nicer.
Number 8. Britney Spears reaches her breaking point. There was a time when you couldn't turn on a television or click on a news website without spotting some piece of news about Britney Spears.
It's Britney Watch, keeping you up to date with all your Britney Spears news. Oh boy, what's she done now?
South Park took Spears' story and found a more compassionate way to illustrate the pressures someone like her was under. How they went about it, however, was far more ghastly.
I can't take it anymore.
When she's just about had enough of the overbearing attention, she attempts to take her own life. Although she survives, it only gets worse from there. In the aftermath, no one seems to care about her mental health and instead continuously mock her new look and terrible post-tragedy performance skills.
Excuse me, is this really what you think she should be doing right now?
Both the gunshot and subsequent fallout are so unsettling, it's hard not to feel sympathy for Spears.
Britney, over here! Tell us everything!
Number 7, Man Bear Pig's Dinner Buffet.
That's it. That's what I saw. I saw a man-bear pig.
With everything that goes on in this town, it should come as no surprise that a half-man, half-bear, half-pig, yeah, we know, but let's move on, creature would choose the town of South Park to go on a rampage. Setting aside the fact that Man-Bear Pig is the show's metaphor for climate change, the veracity of this character had yet to really be seen until season 22.
There's definitely evidence that all the death and destruction around us is due to a man-bear pig.
But no exact correlation to a man-bear pig.
Definitely not, and that's why we're all here to try to pinpoint when should I start to worry.
As a family of 3 debates the authenticity of MVP while eating at Red Lobster, the creature smashes into the restaurant and goes on a tear. We're not sure which is more shocking, people literally being torn from limb to limb, or the father's insistence that MVP is nothing to worry about. Number 6, Paris Hilton's Fate.
Let me out of here!
Now, here's one for you. Paris Hilton comes to town and finds herself in a questionable contest with Mr. Slave. Hilton's perceived reputation precedes her, and all the girls in town are sure Hilton has got Garrison's boyfriend beat. In what can only be described as the most inappropriate competition ever, Paris appears to have the lead as Mr. Slave just sits off to the side. It's not until the very end we find ourselves with mouths agape and in complete and utter disbelief of what we've just witnessed. We still can't believe what we just saw, only to be greeted by a familiar face shortly afterwards.
Paris, you must find your way out of this place or you will surely die.
What?
Number 5. Garrisons Way Too Detailed Surgery.
All right, then let's begin.
After finally coming out as gay, Garrison decided to undergo gender-affirming surgery. Instead of playing it safe and giving audiences a mere glimpse at the before and after, South Park opted to go in a different direction. What we get is a literal play-by-play of the surgery, including live-action clips of an actual operation. The sheer contrast of the doctor's somewhat calm attitude and the raw nature of the footage gives even the strongest stomach a bit of a tug. After viewers were treated to such a graphic scene, everything else that followed in the episode seemed so mild in comparison.
Come on, Kyle, we should get going.
All right, Dad.
Dude, is Kyle's dad a dolphin?
Number 4. Steve Irwin's Afterlife.
Hey, Satan, you got a little problem.
What?
The folks at South Park decided to feature the notable wildlife enthusiast in an episode about Satan's Halloween party. At the festivities, we see plenty of known and unknown individuals dressed in various costumes. When one partygoer complains about another guest and their costume, we shake our heads in shock at who the guest is. That's right, we see Irwin depicted with a stingray through his chest, as Satan asks him to leave because his costume is too offensive since Irwin just died a few weeks prior.
I mean, he just died a few weeks ago, and it's just not super cool. You gotta leave.
What's worse is Satan's reaction after he finds out that it's actually Steve Irwin.
Oh, but then, dude, no costume.
Even for the most devout fans of the show, this was a moment full of cringe. Number 3. Randy's Wheel of Fortune appearance.
I can't believe you said the N-word on national television.
What? Well, what was I supposed to do, Sharon? I thought I was gonna make $30,000.
Randy has made it to Wheel of Fortune's bonus round and is one word away from winning it all. When the board spells out the letters from the word naggers with an A missing, anyone watching the show wondered exactly what he, and therefore the show itself, would actually say.
I know it, but I don't think I should say it.
And as audiences collectively held their breath, Randy did what Randy does, and not only guessed the wrong word, but the word any Caucasian should never say. Just like the host, Stan's family and the studio audience were left dumbfounded.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, naggers, of course.
Number 2. Scott Tenorman's Chili.
Do you like it, Scott? I call it Mr. and Mrs. Tenorman chili.
Come on, did you really think we weren't going to include this one? Having appeared on several of our other lists, the famous South Park chili incident has lived on in infamy since it aired all the way back in 2001. If you're one of the few who don't know the story, here's the abridged version. A kid named Scott Tenorman tricked Cartman one too many times. Seeking out the ultimate revenge, Cartman uses the remains of Scott's parents in a special chili that he then feeds to the young redhead.
I made you eat your parents.
The moment we learned Cartman had orchestrated their death and their inclusion in Scott's dinner, we all knew this big-boned boy was never to be messed with.
Yes! Yes! Oh, let me taste your tears, Scott. Your tears are so yummy and sweet.
Dude, I think it might be best for us to never piss Cartman off again.
Good call.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Not So Cuddly Critters. Watch any stop motion or animated story around Christmas time and there's no lack of cute talking animals to melt your hearts.
There was Squirrely, the squirrel, Rabbity, the rabbit, Beavery, the beaver, and Barry, the bear, Porcupiney, the porcupine, Skunky, the skunk, Foxy, the fox, and Deary, the deer.
So when South Park delivered its own version of one of these stories, we wondered how long it would go before the jig was up. Sure enough, 8 minutes in, and after Stan has saved the critters from their worst enemy, they reveal their true intentions.
Now our Critter Christmas can finally happen. Hail Satan!
Hail Satan! Wait, what?
But wait, there's more. Satanimals alone weren't enough. They sacrifice one of their own in a very bloody ceremony that turns into or we'll just say a big satanic celebration.
Yay, sacrifice me to the devil! Yay, yay!
Stan's look of pure disbelief likely mirrored every person who watched this episode for the first time. What scene surprised you the most from South Park's catalog? Shock us down in the comments below.
That didn't sound serial at all.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.